everyone, and welcome to our weekly how-to video. My name is Lori McNorton, Floral Design Coordinator for Florist Review and Super Floral, and we are in the peak season of weddings, so I thought today I would share with you a basic technique on making a floral headpiece. And this is going to truly be just the basics, and then you can take it from there and add your touches, your variety of flowers. So let's get started. First of all, I've got two wires here, and one I always feel just isn't quite enough, so I cut one in half. And what I like to do first is use stem wrap and cover the wire. Makes it easier to work with. And then when I get about halfway down, I'm going to add this second piece of wire in. That way it's a little bit longer, and for smaller little girls like flower girls, this seems to work really well. But you could also take a piece of ribbon and measure the person's head that you're making this headpiece for. That always works as well. So we have this started. Like I said, I'm just going to do the basic today. So I have some gyp here. Cut a few pieces here. I'm going to make this really easy. So all I'm doing is cutting these stems and just making a pile. And it always seems like you're going to need more. You think you've got enough, and you're going to need more. Which you will need a little bit more for this, but I'm going to show you kind of how we're starting this. So I'm going to take my stem wrap, and I'm just grabbing pieces of the gyp. I'm going to add like 2 pieces to start with. And I'm going to leave about 1 inch. I'm going to come down, and I'm just going to start wrapping this wire. I'm going to add another piece, and this is how this is going to go. We're just going to do this whole piece of wire with this technique. You shouldn't have to put your tape down. All you have to do is continue grabbing a couple stems of gyp and adding it on. You can make this very dense, very full. I'm trying to make it a little bit looser because we're also going to add some additional blossoms into this band of baby's breath. I've got one here that I've got pretty much done, and I've left the end. So, and if you get this wrapped tight enough, it's not going to come apart. So like I said, this is where it gets a little crazy. But I just get this thing going here. And this is where I said I'm usually got this out front. So I'm just whipping this around. It doesn't come apart. It actually shows that it's put together quite well. One more time. Then I think we have this long enough. All right, so then, like I said, at the beginning, I left about 1 inch. There. And I've left, about 1.5 inches or so there. And I'm just going to take this wire and wrap it around like that. And then just to secure it, I'm going to take a piece of tape also. And I have some sweethearts, spray roses, well not sweethearts, spray roses. And I have a large rose, I have a little bit of Dusty Miller, which I'm just going to cut off some of the smaller pieces of foliage. And I'm going to just trim these off. You want different sizes. We have our floral adhesive. And this is what I use to glue the flower heads into the gyp. Just make sure you have quite a bit. You don't need a lot. I'm just going to work that in. Apparently, this little piece of Dusty Miller wants worked in, so let's do it. And I don't want these all going the same direction. But what I'm doing is kind of working this into the gyp so it has a nice area to adhere to. Lift this up. I want one kind of going down. So I have one up, one down, because it's when it's on the little head. You want to be able to see all the little blossoms. And you might want a little tray to put this glue in. I'm making a mess, which it seems like I always make a mess when it comes to floral adhesive. I usually have it all over my fingers. Just scoop that up because every little bit counts. A good trick I learned about the floral adhesive is when you're done, put it in a cooler. It won't dry out as quickly. And it truly does work. Just going to add a few more roses here. Now after we get this all glued, you're going to want to leave it set for, I would say 10 minutes, just so it has a chance to really dry. But I'm going to show you how it does hold up quite well. Let's grab this piece of glue here. I want some of the Dusty Miller coming out. I don't want everything flat. And that's where it's fun to use different foliages and different blossoms. But I was just trying to keep it a little bit simpler today so that you kind of get an idea of how easy this really is. And it doesn't take long to make these. Maybe one more piece here. So, it doesn't have to be full blossoms. I'm going to roll this petal just a little bit, cut that off. Again. Glue that in. Again, just simple. I'm truly making a mess with this glue. And also you can do the whole petal. Just dab of glue, work it in. It really gives it dimension once it's on a little girl's head. Doesn't all have to be flat and perfect. And this didn't take much product. And I think we did 2 stems of spray roses. If you have several of these to make, 1 rose will add enough texture. And we just did a couple pieces of the Dusty Miller, which I used just the tips, but the rest of it I'll use in bouquets. There we have it, and then that'll just sit on top of their head. Be sure, because I made this today, this is Wednesday, I'm going to take some finishing solution, finishing spray it real well. I'm going to let this dry, put it on like a little, cloud of tissue paper, let it dry, put it in a bag, blow a little air in it, seal it, and it will be good to go on Saturday. It'll look just as nice Saturday as it does today. So, there you have it. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to join us next week and have a great day.